Hey guys, welcome back to Hope and Mum and Dad podcast with me, Fuzz, and Becky, talking about infertility, IVF, waiting, and all the stuff in between. It's a pretty broad spectrum of stuff. Episode 21 today. It's just us two, so we're just checking in, talking about life, seeing, basically letting you know what's going on, which isn't a lot. But when we started this podcast, we knew a lot of IVF is hanging around waiting. So that old saying, I keep saying it all the time, like misery shared is misery halved. Is that right?
I don't know. Misery likes company, I hear.
Yeah, something like that. So anyway, it's I just thought we're going to be casual, real human beings, just sharing our lives and stuff. Because I don't know. That's the great thing about podcasts and YouTube and the internet today is I think, me personally, when I see stuff that's overly produced and really overly produced and very specific to one niche thing, it's great. But I also like just the relaxed, casual, no specific selling point or product to push or anything like that. It's just hanging out. It's a new thing that's come along in the last, I don't know, 10, 15 years, I think. It's a completely new format in it, podcasts and blogs and stuff, and you get to really dig in, you get to get a good idea about people and stuff. So
and who they are. Kind of like you're hanging out with people when you listen. Yeah,
and we're all working from home. I used to do a lot of work, I still do. That means I'm constantly, doing stuff at home on the office. So I listen to a lot of podcasts and stuff like that. And the thing about it is so many people out there doing it. You can just find people that you click with,
and listen,
and just carry on. So no specific update really for IVF stuff, right?
Yeah, no update at all. Never mind specifics. We're still waiting. So that's us.
It's a bit worrying, isn't it? The infection rates are going up and things are getting a bit.
Yeah. If you're listening in the future, Wales, where we are, is about to go into another lockdown
called a firebreak.
A firewall.
Boom, 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 boom. Mark Drakeford's firebreak.
Yeah. So that's starting on Monday, the 23rd?
Friday.
I think it's Monday.
Friday, 6 p.m. I think.
Oh, really? Mm. So, all the shops are going to be closing if they're not essential. Bars and restaurants will be closed. And
there will be armies of idiots going around saying, it's my right not to wear a mask, and going around getting people ill.
I don't think there's a restriction on exercise this time, which will be a bit better.
Becky keeps burping into the microphone.
I didn't burp.
I'm not even going to take that out.
I was about to cough, but when do you ever do that thing where...
This is how not to podcast, drinking coffee right next to the mic.
Where your throat kind of gurgles. It did that a while ago, and I was like, did you hear that? Anyway, sorry, random, non-interesting talk.
It's very interesting to someone.
Yeah,
some of the most positive feedback that we've had on some of the podcast episodes so far was our hypothetical, would I be able to win Crufts as a Norwegian dog?
Yeah.
That was
just that funny shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, there's not a lot going on. And I know lots of people have been listening and watching Netflix and other things. And lately on Netflix, I've watched David Attenborough's A Life on Our Planet. And that was really good. I love his voice.
It's really, it takes a lot out of me when I watch stuff like that.
Yeah, I nearly cried a few times.
From a technical aspect as well as a filmmaker and photographer and stuff, I've got so much respect for those people who just camp out. It's so much dedication. When I was in Falmouth University, there was a course called Natural History Photography, and I was like, well, what's that? I didn't even know about it. But that is
the wildlife stuff.
Yeah, all and they do scuba stuff and all that stuff. It's kind of cool. But
it is really cool. What I found interesting was that the Blue Planet stuff came out. They were filming it in the 90s. I didn't realise it was all the way back then, because you look at the images and the footage and it's so clear and amazing. I mean, our planet, we're so lucky it's an amazing place, but...
it's a lot of doom and gloom, but I do think we can turn it around. Yeah,
I think that's what the whole point in the documentary is, that we can change it around. But it makes you think, obviously the population has grown... massively.
Interesting point. It ties in with parenthood and stuff like that.
I know, that's
I've before, right in the early days when we were talking about starting a family and what if we can, and I was saying one of the for the world the environment and the resources we've got, having a massive family is gonna be what is like an ethical question now. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I mean, you can never take anyone, you can't say to people this is right or this is wrong, but I'm certainly very aware that every person that you bring into the world, like, we're over, you know, people,
especially if we carry on living the way we live.
Yeah, it's just mass consumption with no end. It's just like
completely unsustainable.
Yeah, companies are like, every year we need profit, we need more stores, we need profit, and you're like, well, at what point do you need, like, at some point you've got enough money, you need to just like realize.
It's not about money either. It's about ease of living a lot of the time, and just those things
but
that
like Starbucks, Costas, stuff like that, right? They just grow. It's a store. Like, they don't just maintain the amount of stores that they got. It's just more stores, grow, and then it's like, I don't know the specifics on it, but I mean, I can't imagine like all the, you know, the product and the shipping and stuff like that. That's gonna grow and grow and grow and grow, and it's gonna get to a point where we're like, well, it's probably already at that point where just growth for the sake of growth is not actually helping everyone. It's only helping a few people who own all these companies and make all the money.
Should be hugely taxable, you know, like if people have a second home, then they get, you know, taxed more, and mortgage rates aren't as like good. So why isn't it the same for businesses?
Because they create jobs and people need jobs and stuff. But I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. But we need to change what's going on now.
I mean, I obviously when we did start trying to conceive, we said in the beginning, if we can't, we said we wouldn't go through fertility treatment.
Did we?
Yeah, I think so. I think we both said that. And obviously here we are now, and we are waiting to do that. And I don't know, I think things change and opinions change, but hey, we're here, and I do want to have a baby, but
I think, well, if
there's lots of people in the world who need families.
If everyone had one kid, like, then would the population grow? If everyone had one, no, because two people make one baby.
Yeah.
So you'd have to have two to maintain
the
population.
The problem is with population as well that people are living longer. So it's that the more people on the world because people live longer.
It's definitely an environmental impact.
Hugely environmental.
I don't know the stats because it's a bit depressing, but you know, every person born needs food, blah blah blah, water, and it's, you know, at the rate that it's going.
Well, an interesting feature of the documentary is that these random slides that interrupt his documentary and his narrative, and it says the year, and it says the world population, and then it says something about carbon emissions, and then also about wilderness left. And obviously wilderness left keeps going down, carbon emissions keep going up, and population keeps going up.
Yeah, it's a balancing act. Like, you need, and it's reversible. That's the thing. It is reversible.
Yeah.
It's like, and even China, who have never really had an amazing track record for like environmental stuff, they've changed their tune. Yeah. And they're like sending millions of, you know, I don't know if it's millions of people or millions of trees, but they're on a mission to like reforest stuff and whatever.
I think as well, there's a huge issue with like people that are more aware now. Obviously, Sir David Attenborough was saying how people were becoming more conscious and aware, and giving these animals and these ecosystems a kind of personality and a life, and making them realize that they were living, gave people reason to kind of say, stop, don't hunt whales, don't do this.
Yeah, but they still want their coffee. They're like disposable cups.
Well, everyone does. No, everyone does.
So I get the point, but there's like, it's not as simple. Like, I think it's very limited. If people like us just go, we don't like that, we want it to stop. Yeah. There's not much you can really do about it.
No.
You can try, but I mean,
little things you can do. Like, we spoke to our friends the other day when we walked the dog and we bumped into them on the beach, and we were talking about the search engine Ecosia or Ecosia. I don't know how you
I
say
didn't
it.
know. I need to change the browsers to that.
Yeah, well, I've changed them all in school to that, so the kids use Ecosia by accident, just because they don't. That's the homepage. But that plants trees. But I wonder how they do it, because there's a sustainable way to do everything, and obviously, when you plant forest,
I don't think that's necessarily true. I think some stuff is just wildly unsustainable.
Yeah.
The internet itself
To a
is
point.
actually really bad because
I think
of all the
everything.
servers and
Yeah.
the power that they.
Yeah, I think everything can be sustainable
Google,
if you counteract it. That's what sustainability
I think
is.
Google or Microsoft started submerging, like they made like submarine tanks and put all the data centers in there, because everything on the internet runs from a server. So like it gets uploaded. I might be butchering this a bit, but basically it goes somewhere and it's like hosted on a system, and then that system can talk to all the other systems. But all of these things take electricity and they need to be cooled. So they were submerging these tanks, these data centers, like on the ocean floor, where loads of internet cable is anyway.
Yeah.
And and it didn't require cooling because it was cool. So that saves like money and stuff. So it was an experiment. It worked well. But then I think, like the data that we use on our phones and stuff like that, is getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and like everyone's mobile phone data plan goes up and up and up and up, and that data is information that's stored somewhere. So people really, I don't really think about it until we just talked about it. But
everything we do has an impact. Every single thing. Even if you just sit there and breathe, then you're making carbon dioxide, aren't you? So you could live on the planet and do nothing, and you'd still be making carbon dioxide.
It's just a smart way to do things.
Yeah.
And nothing's impossible. Like we've done some amazing stuff. We realised how much we were paying for our bills the other day, like gas and electric, and I was like, "Whoa, that's loads! It's like 80 quid a month."
I don't know.
Something like 80 quid a month for gas and electric. And I have been looking around. We've just been busy and haven't got around to doing it. But I do want to switch over to one of those renewable companies. Because even if it's a 10 quid more a month for full renewable energy, you're endorsing it, and you're helping that company grow to become more competitive.
Yeah.
To take custom from the other people who are not using renewable energy.
Yeah. And the whole thing, it's all about education and sharing. So Netflix, being on Netflix and being free, this documentary means that lots of people hopefully will watch it.
It's not free. It's on Netflix.
I know, but it's not like you have to pay per item. You pay per month. And loads of people are paying for Netflix anyway. I know it's not free.
Yeah. Another thing that we watched on Netflix recently, which was quite eye-opening, was The Social Dilemma. To bring it back to our annoying, like we're annoyed at the moment that our treatment's delayed, and that was delayed because of the pandemic. And it could have been picked up again, but it's still delayed because people got moved around and all that kind of stuff. And judging by the way things are going, we could be waiting a bit longer as well, because the infection rates are going up, and there is so many people out there that think they know better than scientists that have dedicated their lives to this stuff, and are saying this is a virus, this is what it does, we need to this is how you stop the spread, blah, blah. And they go on the internet and they find someone that they like to hear, and then they say and they cling on to that, go onto Facebook groups, chat with all the other people that are in the thing. They block out any other argument, which are normally the people that are like, I believe in science, I'm going to trust the virologists and the epidemiologists. They just blank it all out. They go, they're all shills, they're all paying people, it's all a conspiracy, Bill Gates is trying to run the world. And that's it, they're gone. You can't get them back. I've had so many conversations with people, I'm like, and my my rule is I want to talk to people who think all these things that I don't believe in, and I want to say, I won't swear at them, I won't call them names, I won't be rude, and I'll just have a conversation with them just to try and see if there's any middle ground that I can get with them. Every time I go, what about this? What about all the thousands of journalists that have reported from the various studies and universities and stuff, and they go, no, all in on it. What about doctors who've been on A&E wards with like sores on their face and stuff because they've like had to reuse PPE, and when it was really bad in March, I was like,
Yeah.
well, why don't you come on the podcast and have a chat with them and tell them why you think it's all fake?
Mm.
And then they go, and they're just gone.
Yeah.
And this documentary
talks about the echo chamber.
yeah, and like a lot of people will look at what's going on with this misinformation, and they'll think anyone that believes in that is obviously a bit silly. But what the what the Social Dilemma documentary was showing us is that somewhere along the line, we're all going to get into something because the algorithm keeps you on these things for longer, and it basically, like just because you laugh at someone for believing in something like flat Earth or whatever,
Yeah.
like just because it's got them, it's only a matter of time before it gets more sophisticated and comes up with more compelling arguments and tricks you more.
What's it?
Basically the algorithms that Google, YouTube, and Facebook and Instagram run, they just keep you on the platform.
Yeah.
So if loads of people,
They're designed to be addictive.
yeah, they're designed by humans, but the humans don't control them.
Mm-hmm.
So if 100 people are maybe a little bit more gullible than the rest of the people, believe in these things, which science disproves, they go home, enthusiastic, energetic, get on the internet, make YouTube videos, and they always start off like, wake up, sheeple, and like, open your eyes. But that's always a red flag for me. And then other people watch it, and they'll start watching it, and they'll think, oh, this is a bit nuts.
Yeah.
They'll finish the video, another video will autoplay, because what Google and YouTube, watch us get deranked now from Google for criticizing their algorithm. Possible. So it'll show someone a video.
Because we're ranked so high.
Well, I don't know. You show someone a video, and then it'll show them the next one. If that person doesn't watch the next video, it learns. It goes, oh, these two videos don't go together. If they show the next person that watches the same video, they show them a different video. If they watch the next video, they go, bing, oh, this one works. Okay, so we've got a little chain. We've got this video and then this video, and then it tests the third video. This third video, people click off, they don't like it. But this third video, everyone's hooked and they're into it and they're watching it. So they go, oh, boom, 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 we got 3 videos. Before you know it, they've like got people watching videos, 15, they're watching hour, 2 hour, 3 hours of YouTube videos from conspiracy people.
Yep.
And it's quite hard, isn't it? It's probably hard for someone's ego to go, I've just watched 3 hours of conspiracy theories that I believe in, but it's probably not true. The more time you invest in it, the more you're going to be like, have I just wasted hours of my life?
I think not many people have been taught
Media
in
literacy.
recent years. Not media literacy, just like understanding what a source is and where it comes from and deciding whether it's reliable or not. You don't have to...
Have you noticed as well on Facebook, the BBC News graphic? That it's like a world, it's like a picture of a world.
Yeah.
And it's like breaking, and it's got those capital letters and stuff like that. The amount of websites that I see with the identical version of it, and they've cropped it and cropped the BBC thing out, and then people look at it and they go, and it just clicks because you've watched it your whole life. And you go, oh,
fake news it is.
No, yeah, but when you're not questioning all this stuff and you just like look around and you see the same sort of graphic, the same font, the same text, everything.
Yeah.
And you go, oh, this is trustworthy, because the last 100 things that I read like this were from the BBC, who are obviously, I consider them a reliable source. So it's really, really worrying and really upsetting because, selfishly, for us, we want to start a family. We need our IVF treatment from the NHS, which we're very lucky to have, but we can't do it while people, while things are bad. And it wouldn't be so bad if things were bad and the numbers were going up and everything like that. That's horrible, but it's understandable. It's a disease, is the thing. But when people are actively trying to go out of their way to to make it worse,
Yeah.
that's when it gets upsetting.
Yeah.
So please stop it. Just wear a mask, do what you gotta do. It's horrible.
Yeah. So
Anyway.
Well, no. That's what we've been up to, really. I've been thinking a little bit how if the world was normal right now and we went in a pandemic, we'd be thinking about ways we can keep busy and have busy weekends. And I've seen this really nice hotel that looks lovely in the Cotswolds where you can take your dog. And a few months ago in the summer, I was like, maybe we could go there for New Year, because we never really do. Like, I don't like New Year that much. Like, it would be lovely to go there for New Year's Eve and take Coco and have a chill.
I think we should get a van.
Impossible. Yeah, you know. Yeah.
Becky's coming around to the
Because
idea.
money grows on trees.
Well,
I want a van.
I would rather not go on holiday.
Mansion.
I would rather, yeah, but a van is not a mansion, is it?
No, it's
Couple of
expensive as
grand.
a mansion.
Yeah, but, like, you go on holiday. You go on holiday. It might cost you like, if you're married to a teacher like I am, it will cost you loads because they jack up the prices. The cost of like 2 or 3 holidays, you could have a van that you could go on holiday in every weekend for 10 years.
Yeah.
So, and we were behind a very nice VW T5, transporter, split door on the back the other day, driving to the beach, and Becky was like, "Ooh, that's nice," and I was like, "Yeah." I was thinking, how can I get her excited about the possibility of owning one of these? But
I am excited about it. I'm just realistic.
But break to her that VW vans like that are ridiculously expensive.
Like 30 grand.
And we'll probably have like, give me that. You can't be trusted. Playing with bloody pens on a podcast. Yeah, so it'd probably be like not a VW basically. If anyone's got a van they want to give us for free, Google. That's it. We'll put Google. If you want to advertise a van, stick Google on the side of it. We'll drive around for you.
No, we won't. I don't want to endorse Google.
Nah, they were amazing. Like, in the beginning, they were like really good, ethical people, and then I mean, they can still turn it around. I think the lead engineers on that documentary were just saying that like it's kind of spiraled out of control. Like no one knew that it was going to turn out like this.
Yeah, I wonder if there's I'm sure I saw an article, but it could have been fake news about
fake news.
A couple being paid or given all right, Trump. They were given like lifetime free internet or paid a lot of money to name their baby after the internet provider. I don't know which one it was. But do you know how...
Where did you see this?
I don't know. But do you know how I talk about in school, sometimes you get interesting names, and especially if you're in like...
What was the Sunset Boulevard or something?
There was a tequila sunrise. I wonder if there'll be like kids out there called Google or Bing or...
Bing. I don't know. I doubt it. But saying that,
Yahoo.
Elon Musk, Elon,
Yeah.
he has a kid with a name that's like random letters and symbols and stuff, like named after a star.
Yeah, he's not named after a star. It's a made up name.
Yeah.
But they chose it all for different reasons. Him and his pop star wife.
She's famous, isn't she? I don't know.
Yeah, I can't remember her name. I'm not that good. I'm not down with the kids.
Nah, it's good to be not down with the kids. So what have you got planned for the rest of the week?
It's half term on Friday. I can't wait. So I've got a week off. I'm doing my diploma at the moment, so I am very, very busy, and it's very hard to maintain Instagram and try and keep this podcast on the go while we're working full time.
Maybe we could talk about...
If anyone wants to come on, send us a DM.
Yeah, maybe we could talk about like what types of people and things like that we can have on for like a minute, and then I could go snip and just check that out on Instagram.
Yeah.
So who have we spoke to so far? What types of people have we spoke to so far?
Oh, excuse me. We've spoken to a fertility coach most recently. We've spoken to the Fertility Network UK charity. We've spoken to people who've been through IVF.
Yeah.
And been successful. We've had people
Overseas.
who've had IVF abroad. We've spoken to people who've had Clomid, then IUIs, and waiting for IVF, and now they're going overseas. And yeah, so we need to diversify a bit, I think.
I don't know. I think that's a pretty diverse
No, I
bunch.
mean, yeah, I think it'd be interesting to speak to, you know, different experiences, like different ways.
Someone who had who
donor eggs and donor sperm and
Yeah.
adoption,
Same
like
sex.
different. Yeah.
yeah.
Older people,
Is that
younger
IVF
people.
though?
Yeah.
Because there's different ways of doing it. There's surrogacy.
Surrogacy, yeah.
That's it, like it's starting a family when you need help. But is it IVF when they do that?
It can be.
Yeah.
It depends.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's loads of different paths to becoming a parent,
Yeah.
however you do it. So yeah, we need to expand and find out more, because I'm sure there's lots of people listening who want to know what they can do next. Because obviously, you know, IVF only works for so many people, and maybe they've got to the end of that free stuff. So
I wonder if there's anyone out there that has found out that are they still doing like lab tests for people who are. So you know when we started trying, and then after a while we went back and we got tested and all that kind of stuff. Are they doing that for people now?
I assume so. What you mean, like through the GP?
Yeah. Well,
I can't see why they'd stop it.
from lab capacity, innit? Because they swapped out a lot of the labs.
It'd just be a delay, wouldn't there?
I don't know. I don't know how it works, but so I'd be interested in seeing if I'd be interested to know if people have like started a year ago, still not got pregnant, and been to the doctors and stuff
Recently,
and if that's still going ahead and what they tell you, being in the mid-pandemic, you know, because when they told us when we started, it was different. So that'd be kind of interesting.
I think the waiting times will just be longer, won't they?
Yeah, but I don't even know if they're gonna actually be doing all that tests and stuff.
Yeah. I don't think they'll make people wait from the test.
Apparently, a lot of people are, you know, suffering the negative effects of the pandemic from not seeking treatment.
Yeah.
And the NHS is like, you know, we're here.
Other
like,
ailments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think my thyroid might be getting a bit squiffy again. So I'm going to get that checked out. Hopefully in half term. Need to ring them tomorrow and book in a blood test. Yeah. Because I've been super tired. Oh, I had a heck of a week at the beginning of the week. I just slept through I didn't sleep through my alarms. I turned off the notifications for bloody emails and everything else. And then didn't realise I'd turned off the notifications for the clock. So that it wasn't me turning the alarms off in the morning. It was just the alarms were set, but they weren't making a noise because I turned the notifications off. Wake up. Yeah. So on Monday, I set my alarm every day for 6 and then 6:30 just in case, because I go walk the dog before work. And I woke up from a phone call from my sister in Australia on like 7:10 on Monday morning, and I was like, oh my God. I thought it was the alarm and it was Ali. So I jumped up and took her around the block and then got to work as quick as I could. Luckily, it was only down the road. And then the next day, Tuesday, I was like, oh my God. Like, I got to make sure I set the alarm. I woke up in the morning at 8:15 this time. And I'm meant to be in work. Like, I mean, definitely
work at 6 o'clock.
No, definitely by 8:30, but ideally I'm there before 8 o'clock. So to wake up at 8:15, I was like, fuck. What am I going to do? Luckily, I'd set out my clothes the night before, so I just literally got dressed. Coco had to do one and not go on a walk. And I was just like, oh my God. But then it spins you out for the rest of the day. I'd gone out the house, hadn't I, with your phone and my phone in the pocket. So in the middle of my lesson, a phone starts ringing. And I was like, oh, ladies, you can answer your phone if you need to. Like, if you've got an important message, just go and take it. And so both Jane and Vicky went to look for their phones, thinking like, oh, I didn't think I left it on loud. And they went to get their phones out, it wasn't ringing. They got mine out, it wasn't ringing. And I was like, where's that phone ringing from? And I looked in my other pocket, it was yours.
Yeah, and
nightmare.
Also some really exciting news for everyone. We found our house key. You didn't even know it was lost, I know, but we lost the house key, and we spent 3 days
house key gate
looking for this bloody house key. And you know,
it was not fun. It was his fault. It was my fault.
Me and Becky being very calm and measured people. Well, I'm very calm and measured. That's not a joke by me, but more about Becky. We're very calm and measured people. I thought Becky lost the key. She thought that I lost the key. Turned
Did
out,
I lose the key?
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
And then you snuck it in a weird little random place so that I
No.
would find it and be like, oh, she didn't lose it.
It was right by where you bring your bike in, and it obviously got stuck there.
We've got like a shoe rack, like a little pine shoe rack, and the ends of it stick out a little bit. And there's like 4 little slats that stick out. And somehow, this key, it was just a single key on a key ring, had hooked itself on the end of this foot thing, and there was like shoes covering it. It's bananas.
The funny thing is, we'd pulled out the shoe rack to look under the shoe rack because we thought it might have fallen down the day before, but we didn't see it. Hey-o. It's been one of those weeks. It's definitely, gosh.
I feel really ill as well.
Like, I'm on my period too, so like things just don't go well that week anyway.
No.
So I just feel like tonight it's Wednesday night. I need a drink even though it's Wednesday.
Yeah. But, yeah, so I hope everyone else is, we're just having a bit of a whinge about having to wait more for IVF and being tired and being run down. I've just been tired the last couple of days. It's weird. Like, everyone, I talk about it occasionally, doing all this training, doing an Ironman to raise money for Mind. So I'm doing like I try and do like 450k bike rides a week. I've dropped them down from the hundreds and the big ones. I'm trying to just do little ones. I did maybe 350ks last week, and maybe 1 or 2 10k runs. Had 2 days off, Saturday and Sunday, which works out well because everyone's always busy riding and running. So I do it the other way around. Had Saturday and Sunday off. Monday, I was just like stiff, couldn't do anything. It was horrible.
Yeah.
So we will wrap it up there. And we need more people to come on. And we're really busy, so we haven't been asking too many people.
But in the meantime, go and check out the people we have had on, like Sandy Christiansen, the fertility coach, Fertility Network UK, loads of people.
Yeah, and also
go and see what they're doing.
We'll put a couple of we'll put
in joke.
Yeah, that's from Vic Reeves and Bob Mortimer. They do that on their stuff. Anyway, if we'll put a couple of polls out and things like that. So it's always good to hear about what's going on with everyone else. If you are working from home and you can spare, you got a webcam or a laptop and you want to come and say hi, tell us about your story, that'd be awesome. It doesn't take long. It's not stressful. We're obviously not. We're just pretty laid back people. Obviously, Becky's burping on the mic all day.
I'm not. I'm trying to hold back a yawn.
Cool. All right. Well, we're going to leave you there. Thanks for listening. And don't forget to check, all the previous episodes for probably more interesting episodes than this one.
And follow us on @HopeYourMumAndDad. Have a nice day.
Bye.